welcome back to Tribe Talk. So today we're going to be discussing Facebook and Pinterest. We have a few things on the Facebook front as far as lowest user satisfaction since 2015, as well as their new off Facebook activity and how they're using that to kind of combat that stuff, as well as interest targeting, some fun things. We're going to talk about interest targeting. And then also we're going to hop over to Pinterest and discuss how much Pinterest has been growing lately, and also mobile ad tools that they just came out with recently. And today we have Jaka on the call. Jaka, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jaka. I'm a group account director over here at Ember Tribe, which means I get to oversee an awful lot of the awesomeness we do on a day-to-day basis.
Awesome. And Jake is actually one of our pod leaders, and Courtney's actually in her pod. You guys work closely together. Courtney's on the call as well.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a growth specialist at Ember Tribe, and I am busy doing the day-to-day management of Facebook ads, Google ads.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's just hop into it. Jake, if you want to discuss about the lowest user satisfaction with Facebook recently?
Sure. They do a survey year over year of all the general social media platforms that you're going to see. Think Pinterest and, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So they've been doing this for a while now, and we see it's from 2010, it looks like. But since 2015, Facebook hasn't been quite as low as it is now. Their percentage change was a 6% drop in, happiness with the platform. So as far as users, Facebook's really not serving their users as well as they think they are. But that being said, it continues to grow. We all hate it, and yet we all use it. So I think the sort of takeaway from the study is, yes, you have higher rankings for something like Instagram, right, where everybody goes and sees their puppy videos and what have you. You have higher user ratings for something like Snapchat and even things like YouTube. But the fact is that Facebook continues to add users, so it continues to be a profitable place for us to advertise. So as much as, I don't know if people are hate scrolling or what it is, but as much as people are, turned off by some of the things that Facebook corporate does, and maybe they don't like some of the things that they see it doing, maybe in the newsfeed or formatting, they continue to be there and they continue to buy there.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's just always hooked on Facebook, even though they're not happy with all the data breaches and everything that's been happening. They're still, scrolling away and constantly using, we're constantly using it for advertising. So yeah, that's really interesting. And I mean, they just came out with their new off Facebook activity. It seems like they're trying to combat all of that and taking away some of that pixel optimization.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It looks like they're trying to take away sort of targeting for things that, you log in, you use Facebook to log into, like for instance, other sites or subscriptions. But again, I think this is another one of those things where they're making these little tiny tweaks to make it seem like they're doing something big, right? And in general, I don't think this is going to have a large effect on either targeting or the user experience, right? I don't think that most people are really going to dive deep into their settings and be like, no, Facebook, don't track where I use you to log in, because that's not convenient or anything. So
who has that kind of time to go in there and do all of that?
Who's doing that when you really got to get to the stuff that's in your feed?
Yeah, well, speaking of targeting, Courtney, do you want to speak a little bit about the interest targeting?
Sure. So lately, Facebook has been pushing advertisers more and more into using expanded interest targeting, which is, so if you're making a new ad set, there's an option underneath the standard interest targeting to expand that, which it's been available for a while now, but they've continuously been making a lot of improvements to this. And it's another thing that Facebook is doing that all goes to support their movement or their push towards algorithm learning, machine-driven support for advertisers and ad campaigns. And what this would be, to me, most useful for, so just over a year ago, when Facebook removed a lot of the behavior and interest targetings that some brands or companies, advertisers were using, if there's a brand suffering from that and they're not able to target what they used to be able to target, this might be an opportunity, since it lets Facebook find interests and people on its own with its own data. And it's kind of like a lookalike in the sense that it's finding people who you're not directly targeting by an interest or a behavior. And it's important that it doesn't add people, it also removes people. So if you're targeting an interest that isn't working out, it will remove that. And when it's targeting these new people in the new interests, it doesn't change any of your demographic groups. So the age stays the same, the gender, all of that remains the same for whoever new they're targeting. And if you're using this, you can actually see significantly lower costs per conversion and a higher number of conversions. So it's great for broad products, for example, clothing or skincare. So there could be a ton of suitable interests of people who are interested in this X interest who are also interested in clothing. So it's great for broader products or brands, as well as any product that might be tied to like a behavior or a life stage. There might be interests associated with that the advertiser might not know. So it's great for quite a few products, brands, and advertisers.
It sounds like a super helpful tool. Like they're going to drop off interests that aren't working out for you, and it's going to be more budget friendly. So that's awesome. Well, yeah. So we're going to actually skip over to Pinterest now. So Jacob, you want to speak a little bit about how much we've been using Pinterest recently for our clients and how it's been working out?
Sure, absolutely. If I touch, I'm trying to think of any of the clients that I touch that I don't try and push Pinterest on, especially from an e-commerce point of view. It's always worth a test to my mind, and this sort of new data kind of backs it up, right? So before we sort of talk about like what the news is on it, Pinterest has been, since they went public like in April, Pinterest has been really trying harder to make its ad platform more user friendly, more data driven, have more options on it, right? Like a couple of years ago, you couldn't do things like lookalikes in Pinterest. You couldn't do things like uploading your customer list. Now you can do things, a lot of the same things you can do on Facebook. Let's not pretend that it's as easy over on Pinterest. Pinterest is still kind of wonky and clunky, and you got to switch screens and it takes 10 clicks to do anything. But the fact is, you can optimize for add to cart conversions. You can optimize for view content. You can optimize for purchase conversions there now. Like there's a lot of different ways we're seeing it optimized as a platform that allow us to actually use it as more than just a top of funnel first touch thing for our clients. We are absolutely seeing clients who are making positive ROAS over on Pinterest, even on fairly low budgets. You can actually work with a lower budget than you can on Facebook a little bit easier on Pinterest. So anyway, newly out, it looks like they had, let me get the numbers right here. Looks like they had a 62% revenue jump. So people, these changes that they're making are making them better and making them more money. They saw revenue climb about $261 million. So the revenue portion is mostly coming from Americans. But if we look up, we're also seeing a 30% increase in MAUs, monthly active users. Those MAUs, so not the revenue, the monthly active users, those are primarily coming from international. So what that means is you can if you can sell internationally, right? You can hop over into Pinterest, you can target some of we've got like 250 million people or something along those lines to target internationally. Just target English speaking and you'll be good to go, and you can sell internationally on Pinterest. It's a good spot to be right now. They're doing well and they're continuing to optimize things. Speaking of which, they just released mobile ad tools. So Courtney, I don't know about you, but if you're the kind of person who likes to make Facebook ads on the go, maybe you want to make Pinterest ads on the go. Now you have the option. I think it's for video, carousel, and regular pin formats. I don't know if I'm old or my phone's not big enough, but I've just never gotten into it, but now you can do it. Courtney, do you actually use Facebook ads on the go?
I don't use Facebook ads. I just find it's frustrating, but I have made a couple of videos on mobile, which I find quite a lot easier than doing it on my computer. So.
All right, so I can see the use case there, making the video portion at least. I'm still not sure about actually like optimizing and targeting on mobile. I think maybe I'm too detail oriented. But anyway, that's what Pinterest is up to.
Yeah, I use a lot of like Canva, like out and about when I'm like trying to design stuff, but I don't know about actually dealing with a bunch of like budgets and like different interests and stuff like that. Seems a little bit hard on a mobile device.
Yeah, my fat thumbs will give somebody an extra zero, and then all of a sudden I'm spending $3,000 targeting one city, like with one ad. I was just not, it's not going to go well. So honestly though, the more people use it, I'm betting the better it's going to get and the easier it would be to continue to create ads and campaigns and what have you on mobile. So I think there's that sort of chicken and egg problem. Like they're not going to make it any better if everyone like me is like, no, I'm not going to try that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you guys for joining us today, and thank you for tuning in. If you guys just want to leave us a comment or send us an email, we'd love to hear from you. You guys have a great day.